So people have been wondering, why did I switch out my Springfield Echelon for my Glock 47?
I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. I don't like men no more. I said I like women. Women. I said women. I'm not gay.
Hey guys, Tenfold Tactical coming right to you with another video. Today, I'm going to be comparing these two guns right here in front of me, because why did I switch from the Springfield Echelon? I'm going to dig into that today. This video is brought to you by Velocity Ammo Sales, velocityammo.com. They're sponsoring this video, not because they pay me, but because I haven't got my shipment of ammo yet. I go to Velocity Ammo for all of my ammo needs. They do not sponsor this in any which way, but I was supposed to be having a PCSL training day that I was supposed to be bringing to y'all, but because my shipment is late, it's lost in the mail, and I didn't get my ammo today, I only have enough to shoot the match this weekend, if it even happens, because who knows about Texas weather, you know? But anyways, moving on to the video at hand, we have the Springfield Echelon versus the Glock 47 Gen 5, no Gen 6. Nah, I'm playing. But today I will be comparing these two guns. There are a lot of differences, but also a lot of similarities with these two guns. And I want to bring it right to why I think, I'm going to cut, if you want to cut the video right now, but I'm going to cut to the chase, why I think the Glock 47 is the better pistol than the Springfield Echelon. And it might surprise you why I think that. Anyways, let's get to the meat of the project. Now, I'm going to give you a rundown of these pistols real quick, just a real quick rundown. We have the Springfield Echelon full size with the serrations, the better trigger, the better stippling, the better red dot accessory footprint. We have the Glock 47 with the 4.5-inch barrel, the stippling from the factory, only 17 round mags from the factory, and the MOS system for your red dot, which we all know is trash. So why did I switch to this Glock 47 from the Echelon, right? This is everything you want in a pistol, right? This has it all, right? Because I had to upgrade this Glock in order to make it even compared to this Echelon. Okay, Justin, what do you mean by that? Well, the MOS system, I had to get a plate for that. Luckily, it came with the Vortex Defender. Otherwise, that would have been an extra cost. But the MOS plating system is trash. This plating system from Springfield is way better. This red dot went on this pistol with no plate directly to the slide. We have night sights from the factory. We have plastic sights for the Glock. Okay. I honestly think the stippling is better for the Gen 5s, and I heard the Gen 6 are even better in the stippling. But I mean, you know, the Springfield Echelon's stippling is no joke and is really good. And even stippling on the magazine, end of the magazine, which I like very well. You have the deeper serrations in the slide, so you can, you know, do your press checks even slicker if you want to look, you know, good in that way. And then also going down to the trigger, this Springfield Echelon trigger is way better than the Glock 47 if you're a trigger snob. Okay. So why did I switch, right? This is everything you want when you buy a pistol, right? These are pretty much the same price. I picked the Springfield Echelon up for $600. I picked this up because it was used for a little bit cheaper, but if you want to go get a new Gen 6 or Gen 5, they're going to be right around that $600 mark. So these are coming at the same dollar mark, but the Springfield Echelon has so many more upgrades from the factory than this Glock. Okay, so you're asking me, Justin, why did you move? Because let me just, you know, start off by saying now I'm a Glock fanboy ever since I shot this Glock. So like, why have you become a Glock fanboy after all these years of not wanting to be a fanboy? Okay, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I hate going along with the crowd. Okay, if there's something that everybody's doing if there's something everybody is doing, I'm definitely not going to do it. Just off plain and simple. I remember years ago, I'm an old head, but the ice bucket challenge, the TikTok dances, if everybody's doing it, I'm definitely not going to do it. If there's a new restaurant, you know, Ruth's Chris, or you know what I mean, whatever. If everybody is going to or doing something, I'm definitely not going to do that. And that's how I felt about the Glocks. You cannot get online in the gun, firearm, you know, part of the internet and not hear people ranting and raving about Glocks. I had to hear it my whole time growing up. Oh, Glocks. I mean, Glocks are fantastic. But from the outside looking in, you're looking at Glocks like, what's to it? Like, why is this Glock so much better than all these other guns? Why y'all always saying just get a Glock? And because everybody was saying get a Glock, I hated Glocks. I hated it because everybody liked it. I'm that type of person. If a bunch of people like one particular thing, I'm automatically going to hate it because I don't want to be with the crowd, So there are pros and cons to that, not going to lie. So, but once I got this Glock, and let me explain why I got this Glock, is because they discontinued the Gen 5s and they're moving on to the Gen 6s and they're trying to redo the trigger system. That was the first major, they didn't even redo the trigger system that good or like that well, that differently than the Gen 5, which is whole nother video in itself. But when I heard that the Gen 5s were getting discontinued and Glock was going to switch their triggers for the switches and all these lawsuits and this and that, I'm like, okay, well, they're going to mess it up. They're going to mess up what has made Glock great. Plus, it's going to get discontinued. So, shoot, that's going to be worth money someday. That's why I was thinking, like, let me go ahead and get a Glock that's Gen 5 that's working, that is still like the original. And I might be some type of collector one day, It might be a hard time to get this one day because just like it's hard to find a Gen 1 Glock. So Gen 5 sooner or later is going to come to that day. Well, I got it just for that. I was just going to throw it in the closet, never look at it again. But when I put it in my hand, I'm like, oh, wow, this is feeling good. And then when I went out and shot it, the recoil impulse was just so much better than the Echelon. The Echelon, I would constantly have to re-grip, take a couple shots, re-grip. When I put this Glock 47 in my hand and I attach it to my hand and I take shots, there is no re-gripping of the gun. It just feels so very natural in my hand. And I don't know if y'all know anything about grip angles, but these guns have two different grip angles, and grip angle comes into play when you're acquiring your dot. Can you train for different grip angles? Of course, but there's going to be a natural grip angle that just suits you, that you don't even have to train for. And that's what I felt like with this Glock. When I would put it up, the sights would naturally align. I wouldn't even have to search because I had problems with this Echelon where acquiring the dot just took more time than I thought it should with the amount of training I had on the gun. So when I did this gun and put the sights up, it just felt way better. And I think that's due to the grip angle. And like I said, after I shot it and I don't have to reapply my grip to it, it just works. But why does it work? Why does it work? Glock has not changed this since 1984, I think. I didn't do my research before I did this video. Sorry, I should have did some ChatGPT, but I didn't. I wanted to go off. I just wanted to wing the video like I do most of them. But they have not changed this from the 1980s. It's like, wow, a gun that has not been. The only thing that they have changed on this gun is from the Gen 1 to the Gen 5 is the trigger shoe, where you can get a little bit up under that trigger guard more. They put serrations on the slide, and they put stippling, and they allowed you to have a red dot. That's it. That's all they have changed. And it's like, man, and that's another reason why I never went to Glock, because it's like, why don't they ever change? Why don't they ever upgrade? Why don't they ever do something different, something better? They leave it to the aftermarket. Like, because, I mean, the Glocks have the biggest aftermarket supply from the businesses. You got the Glock triggers, the extensions, the slide. The aftermarket for the Glock is bigger than any other pistol. And that always made me mad. Like, why doesn't Glock do some of these things from the factory. Like if you go and look at the Shadow Systems MR920, they have one that's a pro that has the compensator. They have the, an upgraded Glock. But it's like, I hate to say it, I'm gonna be one of them fanboys, but it is Glock perfection. I hate to say, I even hate hearing it. What is the term? You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the enemy. I have become my own enemy because I fell in love with this Glock, even though Glock as a company, we're not gonna get into that. But anyways, yeah, that's how I feel. That Glock somehow miraculously from 1980 has perfected the polymer handgun. That's what they have done. And now we have things that try to compare to the Glock with all I'm gonna make the analogy. I don't know if there are any car guys that watch mine, but I used to be into drift cars, the Japanese culture of drifting and all that stuff. And it's kind of like the new Toyota Supra. They have a new Toyota Supra, right? Oh man, it's awesome. It's got the Bluetooth, it's got the modern suspension, it's got the, the V6 and all this other stuff. It will never compare to a 1993 2JZ twin turbo Supra. It will never. The new Toyota Supra, very nice car. Very nice car. But 1993 2JZ Supra will never be comparable. They just broke the mold. You can't, I hate to say it, I'm going to be one of them fanboys. I am a fanboy. Actually, I'm technically not. I've only been to one meeting, so I'm not technically a fanboy because to be a true Glock fanboy, you have to have more than one. So I only have one right now. So I'm still, still not a true fanboy, but I'm working on it. Trust me. I got my document signed. I'm just waiting on, my membership to go through. So yeah, those are the things that I wanted to touch on today that I really didn't want to admit to the public that I'm a Glock fanboy now. But yeah, the rabbit's out of the sack, cat's out of the bag. Can't get my analogies right. But yeah, cat's out of the bag. And yeah, I will be purchasing more Glocks, unfortunately, because I don't like Glocks. I don't like them, but I do like shooting them. Don't like the company. Don't like how they don't want to upgrade or change or do any of that. But I love them. Love to shoot them, whatever. So I'm no longer a Springfield shield. This will be the last Springfield I will be getting. Actually, I take that back. I do have a Hellcat Pro. Those will be the last two Springfields I get. And I will be dumping all my money into Glocks. And probably sooner or later, I'll probably get a Gen 6, unfortunately. Unfortunately, that's how it goes. Because when it comes to competition shooting, you're putting so many rounds through these guns. And I don't want to have a gun fail. Even though I'm running a Glock, you could have a Glock fail. I will have to have extra parts and extra guns just in case. Because it would suck to travel 2 or 3 hours to a big competition and for your gun to shit out on you on the first stage. Don't want that to happen. So with that being said, I think that wraps up everything that I wanted to hit on. If not, I'll put more. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Tinfoil Tactical.